Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace, the game that teaches us that... Hmm. Hmm. I don't know, this is literally part 58. I can't think of anything anymore. I genuinely cannot think of anything to say about it that hasn't been said already. I genuinely cannot think of anything. Hiya. Um, the game that teaches us that Keisuke is a hare, not a rabbit. I genuinely couldn't think of anything. Anyways, let's just hop right in. After a somewhat long trip, especially on an empty stomach, we finally turn a corner to arrive at an old shopping district, with its street lit up by a myriad of different lamps and lanterns. It's quite noticeable that we're in the old part of town simply by looking at the surrounding architecture. Even though Shoichi and I came here just a few months ago, it already felt like an eternity. Although most of my memories of that particular night are a bit of a blur, thanks in no small part to the horrible food poisoning, I still feel a sense of familiarity when I look around. I guess it's no surprise that not much has changed in just a couple of months, but still, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't surprised. One thing does become very quickly apparent to me. It's a lot busier here than the last time we were here. No kidding, it's a Sunday night, what did you expect? Fair point. I don't think I've ever been here before. Me neither. I'm not surprised. With malls everywhere and most of the movement having been moved up to the areas surrounding the train stations, it's no real surprise that more traditional places like these have started dying out a bit. I did look into this particular street after Shoichi brought me here back in April. Turns out I had been here before and just didn't remember it. Really? That's news to me. Mom brought me here a few times when Aki was still really little. I think I was, 7 or 8 back then? Since she and Dad grew up in Saitama, they both used to come here a lot when they were teenagers. I guess those sorts of family outings started getting more and more rare after she got busy with work. That's a shame. It would have been just a year or two after we'd met. Hardly a time when we would be hanging out all the time. Pretty much. I know I was pretty much still a baby back then, but it annoys me that I can't remember any of that. It's to be expected. Don't worry about it too much. Besides, this place has changed so much that I didn't even recognize it at all when Shoichi brought me here. I gently pat the top of Aki's head, but he quickly pushes me away with an embarrassed pout before crossing away from me and standing next to Shoichi. Tweens. Either way, let's not stand around too long. Not only are we blocking the flow of traffic, but I'm not getting any less hungry. Fair. This is a somewhat cramped street. To the noodle stand! Follow me, citizens! Shoichi puffs his chest, making a whole show of posturing and pointing forward while calling for us to follow him in a silly voice. For someone usually so concerned about others' opinions on him, he sure does seem to drop his guard at the weirdest times. Not that any of the people around us seem to notice. Maybe they're used to weirdos by now? That doesn't sound too great for them. Either way, we make our way through the brightly lit street and the small crowd that has formed in it. On our way, I noticed lots of stalls set up or stores with their windows open and selling directly to passerbys through them. In them, I see all kinds of goods that I'd come to associate with either convenience stores or bougie little sweet shops. Doriyakis, dango, ramen, takoyaki, yakisoba, karage. It's like walking through a miniature festival, and all the delicious smells are definitely not good for my stomach right now. Jeez, this place really smells amazing when you're hungry. I think it smells amazing all the time. You just happen to be hungry. Is that stand you mentioned far? Nah, it's right over there. Shoichi points to a dainty little cart parked on the street in the middle of a row of other similarly sized food carts. The only thing that really makes it stand out is the big, portly black bear standing behind it who seems to easily be half the size of his cart. Shoichi says a quick word of greeting, grabbing the bear's attention, to which he promptly smiles widely. Ah, Yuata-kun, good evening, it's been a while. It really has. School's been pretty crazy lately. I haven't had much time to myself. No kidding, I was starting to think something had happened to you. Damn, how frequent of a customer are you? Shoichi scratches his chin, mumbling to himself for a few seconds before answer. I don't know. Really depends. When I'm free, I think I come around here 2 or 3 times a week, but it's not uncommon for me to not show up for a few weeks at a time either. As the bear scans through our group, his eyes quickly follow me. It takes a second, but as soon as recognition shows across his face, his whole body tenses up. You're Yurata-kun's friend that came here with him last time, aren't you? I am so deeply sorry that you got sick at my establishment. I can't make any excuses myself, but please know that I was incredibly ashamed when I heard of what happened. Ah! What's this sudden attention? Now everyone's looking at me and I don't like it one bit. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay, Hanazono-san. I told you, I already explained what happened to you. No harm done. Easy for you to say. You're not the one that spent a whole night puking what felt like his whole entrails out. But I'm not going to say that. The last time I spend remembering that, the better. I'm pretty sure I was a bit delirious by the end of it anyway, so I'm not 100% confident in my memories of it. Regardless, it was my duty as chef to properly check my supply and make sure none of it was low quality. Since I tend to buy ingredients in small quantities, I didn't carry all that much of it with me, so I didn't find out soon enough that there was a problem. The bear flashes me an apologetic smile, looking around for a few seconds as if trying to think of something to say. Have you always come here to eat? If so, let me comp your friend's meal here tonight. My way of showing how sorry I am. Really? Sure, that sounds good. Yuichi, don't just agree with things like that. What, we are here to eat? That's not my point. Geez, why are you glaring at me with a read between the lines, you dumbass? Look. I don't care if he's offering, then I'm going to take the offer. You're not the one that got sick, so you don't get to tell me what apology I can or can't accept. We quickly check to see what all we want. Keisuke and I both stick to our initial idea of ordering somen with the most basic broth they have here. I know it's usually accepted that athletes eat a lot after a workout, but I'm so hot and tired that I just want something fresh and easy to digest. Shoichi ends up ordering udon, with Aki also following suit. After we pick out our toppings, our order is complete in record time, a fact that all three of these jerks make sure to tease me about. I'm hungry, okay? I don't have the energy to agonize over a bunch of choices. I just want the easiest thing to eat. In just a couple of minutes, our food is ready and served right in front of us. The stall is a bit cramped for the four of us to sit together, and we end up counting our blessings that he only had a couple of stragglers as customers when we arrived. Still, despite its simplicity, the food is absolutely delicious. Me and Keisuke are the first to be served due to how easy to prepare our dishes are, and by the time Shoichi starts talking, I realize I've already wolfed down half of my food. I really need to pace myself here. By the way, are you still staying at Yuichi's place, Urishihara?
Oh yes, though we've already talked about me going back home.
You have? That's news to me.
Well, to summarize, I checked in with Yuichi very briefly while you two were waiting for us at the school gates. I had already decided to head back home once we get back from the tournament next week.
Ah, I see. That makes sense. No real point in going back home just to get on the road and spend a few days in a hotel right after.
My point exactly.
I was just starting to get used to having you around, Keisuke-san. I'll miss having someone I can talk about tennis with. Excuse me? I am right here, you know. Yeah, I know. It's just not the same. Oh, come on!
It's okay. I can give you my phone number so we can message about it if you want.
That'll be nice! I feel completely ignored here. There. Shoichi reaches around behind Aki and gives me a few quick pats on the back that do nothing to ease the annoyance I'm feeling right now.
Getting back to the subject at hand, though, I really feel like I've been away from the estate long enough. While I would certainly like nothing more than to go away and not return, I know that the longer I stay away, the worse my problems will get. If I don't deal with this soon, I'll just be making things more complicated for me down the line.
Yeah, that's a fair point. I can't pretend to know what's going on with you and your family, but I have some idea of how those relationships can be a pain to manage at times.
You do?
I just try not to focus on it too much. I keep busy and do my work, and that's usually enough to keep me from getting into any trouble.
Usually, huh?
Keisuke mumbles to himself, a complicated look flashing across his face that I can't seem to decipher. For what it's worth, I hope things settle down for you.
Thank you, Yurata.
Part of me wants to chime into the conversation, but I don't trust my ability to talk about it without revealing something that I shouldn't, so I settle on using my food as an excuse to stay silent. I know Keisuke values his privacy quite a bit, so I'd rather not do anything to mess with it. By the time we all finish eating, it hits me that we've been out of the house for almost 10 hours. The sun had already set by the time we got to the shopping district, but now the moon is really fully out. I really wasn't expecting to be out for this long when Keisuke first said he wanted to practice a little bit. Or wait, did he actually even say that? I'm struggling to remember his exact words. I really have to start paying a little more attention to what people say around me. A few hours later. Hey, yo! We eventually left the shopping district and took the train back to our station, walking half the way together before wishing Shoichi goodnight and splitting up. By the time we finally get home, my body feels as heavy as lead. The very idea of getting up tomorrow morning is horrifying to me, but I still manage to check if Mom is home, put her clothes through a wash and dry cycle, and trudge my way upstairs to my room. As soon as the door closes behind me, I waste no time in chucking away my clothes and falling face first into the soft, comfy bed. Evan! I lift my head from the mattress, my eyes immediately shifting to my chair, where I'd grown used to seeing Keisuke sitting randomly throughout the day. What's so funny?
Everything. You just threw yourself onto the bed and then groaned, "Heaven!" like some kind of bed-starved zombie.
Is that even a thing?
Not sure, but it was the only descriptor I could think of.
Aren't you tired? Thought for sure you'd be in bed by now.
Of course I am, but that doesn't give me a free pass to neglect my homework.
Ugh. Homework. My voice comes out with a tad more disgust than I'd intended on using, but by then it's too late to take it back anyway. Keisuke eyes me silently for what feels like an eternity, probably waiting for me to do or say something. And I already know what it is that he's thinking. As soon as he said that stupid cursed word, it planted itself into my mind, and now I can't pretend like I don't remember it. Fine. I'll do mine before I go to bed, too.
I knew you would.
You don't know me that well. Don't go getting all smug just because you've been anticipating me somewhat accurately the past few days.
I would never.
Despite his denial, I could see the hint of a smile showing itself on the edges of Keisuke's mouth. Deciding to ignore it, I grab a second chair, grab my school bag, and quickly get to work on finishing my homework. I'm not going for diligence here. In and out, I want to go to bed. Although it is really hard to not say anything in the middle of this awkward silence punctuated only by the sound of pencil writing on paper. You don't have to leave if you don't want to. Just throwing that out there.
I know. I really feel like I should, though. I've been here long enough.
So long as you know you don't have to. That's fine. I just don't want you to leave because you feel awkward or anything of the sort.
It's all right. I appreciate you checking in with me about it. I know I dropped the news on you at a very awkward time.
No kidding. Couldn't you have picked your timing a little better?
My mind went there on its own. It can't be helped.
I'm sure it could be helped with a little bit of effort, but I don't want to make Keisuke feel bad about it, so I'll bite my tongue for the moment. And just to make sure, everything is okay between us, right?
What a strange question. Why wouldn't it be?
Like I said, I'm just making sure.
Yes, things are fine between us. You worry too much.
Your bodyguard seems to want to bash my face in. I wasn't exactly great to you last week, and your family is being a huge pain. Can you understand why a guy might get a tad paranoid?
I suppose so. I'll give you a pass this time.
That's so. Well, aren't you kind? We fall back into silence, continuing to work on our homework without pause. I can't tell whether we're both super diligent for having a whole conversation without taking our eyes off of our notebooks, or if we're just feeling too awkward to look each other in the eye while talking about it. For sure, thinking about the circumstances behind that conversation earlier today is challenging. I really don't want to get a boner right now, so I better stop remembering.
Oh, and just so you know, Yuichi.
My ear twitches at the sound of my name being called. Yeah?
I love you.
A feeling like electricity runs through my body, making every last strand of fur on my body stand at attention. And yet, despite my body tensing up so suddenly, I say the words that come to mind before I realize it. Love you too. What did I just say? Crap! My heart is beating so fast it feels like it's going to burst. Once the weight of what I said fully catches up to me, I completely lose it. I can't deal with this anymore. Not today. I grab my notebook and lean forward on my desk, hiding my now completely red face under it. Even without seeing him, I can hear the hair chuckling under his breath. Stupid sneaky long ears, he caught me off guard on purpose so I'd respond on reflex. After what feels like an eternity of me whimpering while trying and failing to regain my composure, I finally decide to fully check out, leaving my half-finished homework atop the desk and climbing into the bed, hiding myself under the covers. In that position, filled with embarrassment, I eventually conk out for the night. June 8th to June 28th, Wednesday, day 34. As I'm standing over my bed, checking and rechecking every pocket of my travel bag, I continue muttering to myself as I mark off items in a mental checklist while I go along. And that's underwear, okay, towels are okay, shirts, how many shirts? 1, 2, 3, 6 shirts, is that enough? Yeah, I guess that's enough. When I was a kid, I tended to leave packing to the last minute. After all, packing is annoying. Packing is boring. Who likes packing? But because of that, there was definitely more than one time when I forgot something important. And yeah, sure, it's not too bad when you're in a town just an hour away or when your coach can help you get more of whatever it is you forgot. No sweat. But when you're on the other side of the country and you realize you forgot to pack underwear or pants or shampoo? What kind of sane adult wants to go out at 9 p.m. while staying in a hotel in the middle of an unfamiliar city because the 12-year-old they're chaperoning forgot to bring shampoo? So to avoid that, I pack the morning of my trip, and I check and recheck everything at least a handful of times, if not more. Obsessive, maybe a little. Secure, 100%. He doesn't, though.
You know, you wouldn't need to drive yourself crazy over your bag if you hadn't ignored packing until so late.
And while I'm going through said obsessive packing, Keisuke's sitting at the other end of the bed, watching me with a smile like this is the funniest thing he's ever seen. Stupid cocky hair with a stupid cocky smile. You call it late, I call it early. I used to be much worse. I'd start packing half an hour before I was supposed to be in the bus. That was being late. Just because you used to be worse doesn't mean that you're good now. I really don't want to hear this from the guy that had someone else pack and deliver his things.
Well, what other choice did I have? If I went back to the estate before the trip, I'm fairly certain I wouldn't have been allowed to come back here. And I did say I'd only be going back after the trip.
I think there's a lot of room between don't go back home at all and never leave home. But then again, you're the only one who understands your family's unique brand of insanity. So who am I to talk? Also, you have way too much stuff. Did you really need 3 bags for this trip besides your tennis gear?
It's what I always pack with me. Makes it 100% sure that I won't miss or forget anything.
Man, my back hurts just looking at all that stuff. I don't even want to imagine being the one lugging all of it around. Just so long as you don't ask me to carry it for you.
I won't. Don't worry that pretty little head of yours so much.
I'm still not used to being complimented like this. Don't talk about my head.
You're cute and very easy to fluster, it seems.
I'll throw a pillow at you, I swear to God.
Heaven forfend. Not a pillow. It's my only weakness.
You are such a dick sometimes.
And aren't you the lucky one? You're the only person that gets to see me be this much of a dick.
What a prize. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's everything I need. I have shirts, pants, shorts, underwear, fur care products, towels. I should be good to go.
You said that 5 minutes ago.
Don't you have something better to do than watch me pack while criticizing?
I could leave, but wouldn't you miss me then?
Not from this far away.
What do... Ow! You actually threw a pillow at me.
You did say it was your only weakness.
Oh, ha ha. Aren't you hilarious?
You know it.
And you have the gall to say that I'm a dick?
Between the two of us, you're definitely the bigger one.
I'm not too sure about that. Yours definitely seemed bigger. But then again, it's been a little while.
What? Oh my God. I'm not talking about that.
Yes, I'm aware. Once again, you're too easy.
And once again, shut up.
Stop throwing pillows at me.
Then stop being a wise ass.
Aw, don't you love when I'm a wise ass?
Ah! I let it slip once 2 days ago, and he has not let it go! Every time I think I'm regaining my footing, he pulls that card out and teases me about it. It's hard to keep my cool and dish back when he can disarm me so easily. Shut up.
Duly noted. I'll stop for now. If only because you seem like your head is about to explode.
You are aware that you can just not say these things, right? You don't have to poke the wound and keep teasing me.
I've never been the best at leaving well enough alone.
Evidently. Aniki, are you taking your regular everyday toothbrush with you on the trip? Because I was in the laundry room and found your leather pouch with your travel toothbrush and some other bathroom stuff in it. Oh, crap, I completely forgot. Thanks, Aki. Give me a second.
So much for being good to go, huh?
You. Shush. Hey, Aki, thanks for the heads up. No prob... Aki cocks his head to the side, looking past me and at my bed. A lot messy than last time. Good job. Good job? What are you, my boss? I'm just saying you're doing good. That doesn't help your point at all.
By the way, will you be going to watch the competition, Akiyoshi-kun?
Yeah, our coach was talking about organizing a bus for us to go, since we have a few players from my club competing as well.
Oh, I didn't know that. So your club has players in the same age bracket as us?
It's a private club, so they have players of all ages. Elementary school, high school, adults, elderly. Anyone who wants to join is allowed in, basically.
So long as they can pay, you mean?
Well, yeah, of course. What about you, Keisuke-san? Aniki never says much about it, but how do you feel? Are you nervous?
A little bit. Unlike Yuichi, my prospects are nowhere near as rosy. I'm trying to be optimistic, but...
You'll be fine. You've improved so much since the prefectural competition that I barely even recognize you as the same player.
Heh, thanks, Yuichi.
It'll be nice to get to watch you play again. It's been a while.
That it has. And what about your club mates? Anyone good that I should look out for?
I guess. I think 2 of our guys are seated. Oh, that's news to me.
Seated players, huh? What are their names and their ranks? What can you tell me about their play styles?
Well, when did this turn into an interrogation? Keisuke, relax. You're going to freak my brother out.
Oh, sorry. I can get somewhat intense when it comes to tennis.
It's alright. I don't know much about their play style since I don't usually bother watching the high schoolers play. If I'm there, I'd much rather play myself, you know? But I do know that they're ranked 13 and 16. I think. That's about right anyway.
13 and 16. I see.
That's the case, and they'd be in a completely different bracket from you and I. The only way you'd ever play against them is if you met in the finals. And there he goes, getting lost in thought. Doesn't happen all that often, but when it does, it's harder to snap him out of it than it is June when he spaces out. Keisuke-san? Leave him be. He'll probably be stuck like that for a while. Okay. I quickly put away my little pouch of bathroom thingies while sneaking a few glances at Keisuke from the corner of my eye. He keeps muttering stuff to himself, but he does it so quietly that I can't make out the words at all. Even Aki keeps watching him, probably not sure how to react to that. Is Keisuke-san going to be okay? He's fine. He's probably thinking so hard about the competition that he's zoning us out entirely. I grab the tip of one of Keisuke's ears, tugging on it just hard enough so as to make sure he can't ignore it.
Ow, 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 ow!
Hey, Poindexter, wake up. People are talking to you, and it's rude to ignore others. While Keisuke straightens himself up on his seat after being snapped back to reality, Aki gingerly rubs his own ear as if he were experiencing some kind of sympathy pain.
I don't appreciate that. Please don't do it again.
Stop zoning out, then.
Sorry.
What were you thinking so hard about, anyway?
I was thinking over the competition bracket, trying to run simulations in my head to figure out who I might play against and when.
Off the top of your head? Keisuke nods.
I've gone over it enough times that I have the most important players memorized. Every seeded player from 1 to 8, as well as Yuya Kokonose, Hayato-kun from our club, and a couple of other hopefuls that I figure might make a splash in this competition.
Whoa, that's a lot of people. You must have great memory.
It's not so much about the memory. If you go over it enough times, it becomes very hard to forget.
You've got too much time in your hands.
So I worry a tiny little bit. So what? It's not that big of a deal.
I know your definition of small is a little skewed due to walking side by side with Alex a whole lot, but that's not worrying a tiny little bit.
What? Pfft, that doesn't even make sense.
Makes a tiny little bit of sense.
Now I'm going to throw a pillow at you.
What? Oh no! Sometime later. Once I'd made sure there was nothing left for me to pack, and by extension no more time left to kill before class, I brought my bag downstairs so it'd be ready to go when I swung by later to pick it up, and then we left for school. Okay, good to go. Keisuke. As soon as we got out through the front gate, a familiar voice called out to the hare. Just like he'd been doing for the last couple of days, Alexander was waiting just outside before class to walk with us to school. Whether that came from his own protectiveness over Keisuke, his desire to do his job even during his suspension, or a remaining feeling of mistrust over me, the final result was still the same. Good morning, Alex-san.
Morning, Alex. I see you are back in your uniform.
Yes, my suspension ended yesterday, so I am back at work on an official capacity. As if that changed anything, you were still skulking about even when you weren't at work. Alex peers down at me, ever so slightly raising an eyebrow upon hearing the noise I'd made. I think I'm finally getting the hang of reading this guy's facial expressions. Is something the matter? Nothing important. I was just thinking to myself that it's good to see you in your uniform again. For some reason, the idea of you in casual clothes just doesn't seem right to me.
What? There's nothing wrong with Alex being in his everyday clothes. They look good on him. I help pick some of them and everything.
You even dress your workers up when they're off work? Damn, Keisuke. He's your bodyguard, not your dress-up doll. Actually, for once, I believe you and I are in agreement. We are? For once? It feels good to be in my uniform again. Dear God, first a refusal to stop working even after being in suspension, and now this unbridled joy of being back on the job. You're an even worse workaholic than Shoichi and Keisuke combined. And yeah, that look on his face is unbridled joy, or at least the closest to it that I've seen him get, at least. Shall we be on our way? You don't want to be late for class, do you?
Late? We're leaving 40 minutes early.
Very well. I'll amend my words. You don't want to be late for being early for class, do you?
Hey, I say that sometimes too.
Truly? Interesting.
Just walk.
Keisuke practically forces us out the gate, pushing us forward until we start walking, starting us on our path to school. The faint smile that I'd noticed when he first showed up remains on Alexander's face the entire time. What of your packing? Do you have everything you need for your trip? You brought him 3 full bags of stuff. That should be more than enough. Is that so? Will that be enough?
I think so, at least as far as clothing and necessities are concerned, although I might need some new insoles for my shoes.
Insoles?
Yes, I was going to replace my shoes entirely before, well, you know what happened. Because of that, it didn't bother me much that the insoles were getting too worn, but the shoes I use aren't the kind that I can buy anymore.
Oh, that is true.
In which case, new insoles should suffice. The shoes themselves are fine, the only problem is that the insoles are wearing unevenly. That's the kind of thing you can buy separately, right? I think I've seen it in stores before.
It is, don't worry so much. I got a new pair of insoles for my shoes just last week, actually.
Good, in that case, do you know what my shoe size is? Could you get me some new insoles later, Alex?
I am fairly certain I'll be run ragged today. Partly as added punishment now that I'm back to work, and partly because I need to get some tasks that piled up in my absence.
Oh, so you won't have time, huh?
Fret not, I will find the time. I will get you your insoles before the trip.
Thanks, Alex. You're a lifesaver.
Oh, come on, it's just insoles. Even if yours are wearing unevenly, how bad can they really be? You're the guy that used to buy new socks after using a pair once. Just how worn out can your shoes have really gotten? By the way, Alex-san. Just Alex is fine. I'm well aware of how strange my foreign name sounds when paired with your language's honorifics. Besides, as I am merely a servant, I'm one of the lowest rank and import in this group. You don't need to show me so much deference.
That's such a weird thing to say.
Before I have a chance to say them, Keisuke practically rips the words out of my mouth, except that his voice is weirdly high-pitched and funny when he says that. It is?
Talk like a normal person for the love of everything that is holy.
Everything that is holy, huh? I didn't know your time away from home has turned you religious.
Stop being so literal. You're only doing this to annoy me.
Oh? And what leads you to believe that?
I know you.
So you lack evidentiary support.
You're not a lawyer.
You say you know he's only doing this to screw with you, but you keep letting him.
It's not my fault.
Except it kinda is. There's no one else involved in this outside the two of you. I'm changing subject a little, but will you be going to Keisuke-san's competition too? Sadly no. Keisuke doesn't tend to like when I tag along to such events. Aw, how come?
It's hard enough to avoid standing out as is once people hear my last name. I don't need a bodyguard following me around, especially one that calls so much attention to himself.
I will have to disagree with you on that. I don't call that much attention to myself.
Have you looked at yourself in the mirror recently? Not only do you look super foreign, you're also huge.
I could hunch over to try and make myself look shorter.
Oh, sure, but that wouldn't make you look weird at all.
Very well. I will stay away after all. Not to be annoying or anything, but isn't it a bit unsafe for someone like you going all the way out of town on your own? I'm all for you having your freedom, but that just sounds like a prime time to target you.
Just because Alex isn't going with me doesn't mean I won't be unsupervised.
It doesn't? The company would still utilize other assets to make sure Keisuke's safety is guaranteed. Assets? That sounds ominous.
Relax, he just means they'll post some less conspicuous bodyguards around me to work undercover. It'll hardly be the first time they do so. In fact, I'm pretty sure we've been tailed by them at least a few times before without you noticing.
What? You did not think that Keisuke's security would be left solely to me, did you? When it comes to someone of his importance, there need to be certain assurances. The more points of failure required before something can happen to him, the better. That's terrifying.
Oh, stop. You don't need to keep looking over your shoulder all the time.
But what if there's someone following us right now? Even if they were, they would not interact with you. It would defeat the purpose of them being undercover in the first place. You mean, you don't know if we're being followed or not? I'm not informed of the presence or absence of other bodyguards. However, I do have it on good authority that we are not currently being followed. At least not closely anyway. How do you know? I am very good at my job.
Alex is good at sniffing out potential stalkers. It's why he works so closely to me in the first place.
Of course, he does not mean it literally. I don't use my nose to find them. At least not often, anyhow. Please tell me you're screwing with me.
Would you feel better if I did?
Yes. He is screwing with you. Yeah, I don't know what to believe now.
The look on your face is priceless.
You're awful. I hate this. I keep glancing over my shoulder the entire rest of the way to school. Now I have one more reason to be paranoid. This isn't great for my sanity. We have arrived. As usual, I shall leave you be from here on out.
I hope you have a good day too, Alex.
Yeah. Have a good day. Now, shall we get you to school, little one?
Of course!
Alexander and Aki turn around after waving us goodbye, continuing on their way down the street. Ever since the first time Aki had been walked to school by him, he'd been insisting that Alexander keep doing it every single day after dropping us off. Do you think you could give me a piggyback ride? Are you not a little old for that sort of thing? But I want to see what it's like to see the world from that high up. I shall consider it.
Yay!
Man, that guy's surprisingly good with kids. Does Alexander have children at all?
Nope. He came to work for us when he was about our age, and as far as I know, he hasn't had the time for something like that.
Doesn't that mean your answer is more I don't know? Can you really say that he doesn't categorically?
I guess not, but I doubt we'd have known each other this long without it coming up.
If you say so, he's just suspiciously good with kids.
He wasn't always. He tended to get flustered a lot more often.
He did?
Alex started working for us when I was a child, and the transition was anything but seamless. Both had to know how to get along with each other.
Huh, so you're saying you learned how to deal with kids from dealing with you?
Something to that effect, yes.
I suppose that makes sense. Did he ever give you a piggyback ride?
Yes.
And?
You got your answer.
What? You can't just say yes and not tell me more!
Can't I? Just watch.
Keisuke turns around and promptly walks off, leaving me frozen in place trying to comprehend everything that just happened for a second. Keisuke, wait up! A few minutes later... After saying farewell to each other, Keisuke headed to his classroom while I headed to mine. Once I'm settled in, I start riffing through my notebooks, making sure I didn't forget to do any work while checking my notes before the start of class. Being a good student is kind of boring. At first, it would feel like a chore having so much stuff to catch up on, having to make more thorough notes, being careful and timely with my homework, etc. But now that I'm caught up on everything, it feels like there's nothing left to do. I give my notes a cursory read and then find myself that I have the words memorized for pretty much all of them. I know I've always been good at learning new things, but this feels a bit much, doesn't it? What the hell am I supposed to do for the next 20 or so minutes before class starts? I consider going on my phone and trying to find some kind of distraction, but I wonder what. Let's think about Shoichi and Saya for a bit. They're both early risers, so I'm sure they'd have been here even longer than I have. Yo, you at school yet? Was that an SC meeting? SC? Student Council. Oh, fuck, is this a bad time? Language. And it's fine. I wouldn't be texting if I were still in the meeting. Oh, so it's all good? Yeah, why? You need anything? I'm bored. Wow, modern technology sure is amazing. I can practically hear you sighing through text. Our classes are right next to each other. Not afraid to go slap some sense into you. When you do, could you bring me a soda? Have you finished packing for the trip? Yeah, this morning. Are you coming over tomorrow to cheer for us? Sorry, can't. I have some late homework I need to finish. Dad says I can't go on a trip until I do. Sorry. Hey, it's no sweat. You've been to every competition of mine since 6th grade. It's fine. That's not how you write sweat. Priorities! So Shoichi can't come, huh? That's fair, I guess. His dad has been extra hard on him this year since we're supposed to graduate and all. It's probably on him harder than ever to make sure he keeps his grades up and is prepared for his entrance exams. Still, it kinda sucks. I don't remember the last time I've taken part in a competition without Shoichi there to cheer for me. It's going to feel weird, that's for sure. Is Shoichi messaging me again? What? What, Saya? And what the hell, Keisuke? You sold me out! I mean, sure, I didn't ask you to keep it secret, but still! It's fine, I got all my stuff packed just fine. He said you forgot your toothbrush. I didn't! Boy, don't test me. I'm not sharing towels or toothbrushes with you ever again. You hear me? No one asked you. Get off my back. What about you, Miss Prepare? Did you get everything done in time? Yeah, finished packing last night. How was that better? Don't you yell at me. Then stop being annoying. You're not my mother. Fine. I'm gonna go buy some gripe tape and some other necessities later. You better not ask to borrow anything from me. Yeah, whatever. Stop nagging. And that's grip, not gripe. Jeez, it's so much to ask for you to have a little bit of faith in me. I haven't needed to borrow stuff off of you since we were in middle school. Although, it might have been a good thing for her to mention going to the store later to buy tape and other gear. I've been running out. Not to mention the fact that I haven't had my rackets restringed in at least a month or so. Tension's been feeling a little off recently, but I kept forgetting to change them. I could get it done this afternoon. I only have 3 rackets, so it wouldn't take that long. Just to be safe, I think we'll go to a different store than usual this time, though. I think I know it's Sai enough to the point that she might try to make me swallow my card if I show up there to buy stuff after telling her I didn't need it. Just to be safe, I think I'm going to try looking up a few nearby stores. I'll try calling them up and see if they have time to redo the strings of my rackets. Last thing I need is to keep bouncing around from store to store and ending up late. That would pretty much guarantee that Sai would kill me. This one store seems good. They offer that kind of service and they have good reviews on it. Just to be sure, I'll ask them to work on one of my rackets and I'll check the quality of their work after. It's good enough, I'll have them do it the other 2. I get up from my chair heading for the door so I can make a call before class starts. Ah! As soon as I reach for the handle, the door flies open. Next thing I know, I have someone bumping into my chest. Watch where you're going, you could hurt someone. What, Yuichi-san? Do you know any other Shiba Inus? I know Akiyoshi-kun and your mom. In our class. Oh, then no. At least he seems to be in a good mood. Are you going somewhere? I'm stepping outside to make a phone call. Excuse me. Okay. I quickly get past June, not wanting to waste time. I don't want to risk the bell ringing while I'm on the phone. That would be a stupid way to get in trouble if a teacher caught me right then. A few minutes later. Alright, I got lucky. Even booked me in for after class. That way I don't risk someone dropping by before me and them not having time to get to my rackets. When I get back to my seat, I look at the tiger sitting next to me as he seems to be sketching. And here I thought you were studying. I'm almost surprised. Nah, I'm writing down some melody ideas. I'm trying to compose a song. Melodies? Yeah, this is sheet music, see? Those chicken scratches are sheet music? Where I stand, it looks more like a bunch of googly-eyed flying things or whatever. Can I beat Yuichi?
Like, physically?
Like, physically, can I beat him?
I mean, I'm down. If we're ganging up on the guy, I'm down.
Here's what he said about sheet music. It looks like a bunch of googly-eyed flying things.
Oh, no.
Alright.
Oh, yeah, you can kill him. He's beyond teaching.
What?
He's beyond teaching.
He is way beyond teaching. That's interesting. Actually, I have 3 different melodic lines so far. Could you tell me which one you think sounds better? Sure. June starts humming a few different melodies. Each one of them is no more than 30 or so seconds long, but they all seem somewhat different. Truth be told, while they sound different, I have no clue what to even say about them. They're so short, how do you even pick one? They all sound pretty good to me. You don't have a favorite? Not really. They're different from each other, but they all have a similar vibe, at least to me. That's kind of the point. What kind of song is this even supposed to be anyway? A piano song. I love you, June. I love you. I'm gonna need a little more than that to go on. That's, it's supposed to be a sad song? Holy mother of descriptions, your vocabulary is frightening. Yeah, that doesn't help either. Can you, I don't know, actually describe in a way that makes sense? It's not my fault you don't know musical terms. I'm trying to dumb it down so you can understand. There's a difference between dumbing it down and butchering it. Whatever it is you're trying to do, it ain't working. Sorry, I don't think I can help you with this. Gah, fine. I'll try asking Keisuke-san later instead. Actually, yeah, why are you asking me about this kind of technical music stuff? Probably for the best. You can try asking him after class. I think he'll stick around for a while to square away some stuff with his band, so we won't be heading home together. I guess. Well, wait. What will you be doing then? I'm going to a sporting goods store to pick up some last-minute stuff I might need. Do some maintenance on my rackets. They're the ones that I called when I stepped out of the room a few minutes ago. Oh, I guess that makes sense. By the way, can you tell me what time you guys' match starts tomorrow? I need to know I need to know when to get up so I can make the train. You sure? You don't have to come. I know it's a school day and everything. Psh, like that would stop me from going. I know you're not that focused on your studies, but please care. At least a little bit. At least pretend. Pretty please? I'll text you the information. Thanks! Actually, I could try asking Aki if he doesn't mind going with you. I know he mentioned probably going with some of his club mates on their bus, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind going with you. Are you sure? I wouldn't want to be a bother. Honestly, I don't think he'd have a preference either way, but I can try asking him myself if you want to make sure. That'd be nice. There, that should do it. Uh-huh? It's so garbled! Alright, yours is a smartphone. I guess I can't open that kind of file format. Boo, wait. Just give me a second, I'll write it down for you. God knows you'd probably forget if I didn't. I don't even want to imagine you getting lost on your way there. I don't need to be getting a panicked phone call right before one of my matches telling me that you're lost and need rescue. Pretty sure if you start talking to me in technical terms, I wouldn't understand any of it. Okay, now we're good to go. Thanks. June takes the paper, giving a cursory read until... Oh man, the match will start at 10? I'm gonna have to wake up really early to catch the train then. Not really. If you get on the 8 a.m. bus, that should give you enough time. But like I said, you don't have to. I'm coming! End of discussion! Okay, fine, I won't nag. God knows I get enough of that from Saya. I don't need to pass it along like some kind of chain of nagging. I'll make sure to check this out later. I'm going to get back to my sheet music now, okay? Sure, good luck with your sketching. Sheet music! After some brief pouting, June goes back to work on his chicken scratch music thingamajig.
What?
I'm going to kill him.
What did he say now?
He called sheet music chicken scratch.
That's really funny.
He called it chicken scratch!
Okay, but to be fair, looking at like the logic puzzles we have to do in like discrete math and in digital electronics, if someone who didn't learn how to do that looks at it, they would also think it's chicken scratch.
Yeah, but that's different. In music, you are reading from left to right on a scale.
Yes,
you're
but
reading
if
there.
you don't know
If
the
you're
scale, then you don't know what it means. It's like having a key for a map. You can see all the symbols, but if you don't know the keys,
it can be dumbed down to higher pitch is up, lower pitch is down. It can be heavily simplified to that. Now, going back to math, down is forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, no.
It depends on the type of math you do.
Yeah, because if we're doing basic coordinate planes, up is forward. But if you're doing, like...
No, I'm talking about, like, doing, like, the equations in math. Down is forward.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. The teacher did do a really good job of teaching math. He does a really good job of it. It's a little boring having nothing to do while he does that, but I try not to disturb him, lest I send him back into a bad mood once more. A few hours later... Okay! I made it here a little earlier than I initially planned, means I have some time to kill. I might as well browse for a bit, make sure I'm not forgetting anything else. Luck favors the prepared after all. And really, what does it matter whether I prepared a week or a day before the competition? Prepared means prepared. Besides, this place looks really nice, and I've always been the type that enjoys exploring new places. But first, hey, they were called a little earlier about the racket maintenance. Ah, yes, just a second. You're the one who wanted to redo the strings on his 3 rackets, right, Michimiya? That's right, among other things. I hand the tanuki behind the counter the bag with my rackets, making sure not to knock anything down in the process. No, it's kind of a weird request, but could Could you do work on this one first and bring it back to me once it's done? I just want to double check and make sure it fits my expectations. Of course. I quickly point out the racket I use least often. That way, if they botch the service, at least it won't have damaged my more important rackets. The clerk quickly takes it to the back. I can hear him talking to someone else back there for a little while before coming back around. Probably handed it to someone who works with this kind of thing. Can't leave the front counter unattended for the time it takes to perform the service after all. In the meantime, I decide to go around the different aisles to check that I have everything I need. When I head to the shoe aisle, for no other reason than I have to check out new shoes, I spot a familiar figure. First I doubt myself, but after double and triple checking, I realize it really is
Theta. May I bless the viewer's ears with a little ditty real quick?
Go on ahead. I need to step away for a second, not only to let my voice rest a little bit, but also because I'm about to kill that bitch. What are you going to bless them with?
Raindrops on roses and beating the homeless. Kicking small children alone in a forest. All of these things, in abundance and more. These are my things to do on the forest floor.
I should not have let you do that.
Hi, bitch.
Oh, fuck. I almost fell.
Don't do that, it's bad for your knees.
Yeah, I know. Falling is generally bad for you. When I finally recognize him, I freeze in complete horror at the sight of him here. In the process, I accidentally knock down a shoe off of its stand. While it doesn't make any kind of mess, the noise is enough to rouse the fox's attention. Ah, young Michimiya. It has been a while since we've met. Yeah. Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. Fuck, fuck, fuck! Why did I have to run into one of them here? Wait, why is he even talking to me? Are you here buying things for your upcoming trip as well? Yeah. Yes, I figured as much. I am searching for insoles too. Suppose you could help me choose? I don't know much about sporting apparel. But wait, what? You're asking for my help? Huh? But, young Michimiya, is something the matter? Keisuke. Oh yes, where are my manners? How is the young master? I hear he will be back to the estate after this trip. We're all busily trying to prepare for his return. How can you ask me something like that? Pardon? How can you ask me something like that as if nothing happened? Ah yes, the situation truly is unfortunate. However, I am quite grateful that you offered the young master asylum in this time. Those of us back at the estate have been quite worried about him while he's been away. I'm sure you are. Fox's eyes scanned my face in search of something. Suddenly, as if a flip had been switched, the smile on his face vanishes completely, replaced by a vacant look not unlike the one Alexander wears most of the time. Oh, I suppose you've been told more details about the events that transpired than I initially believed. I haven't told about what you did, at least. I see. For a very brief second, the fox's voice sounds hoarse, not at all like his previously friendly demeanor. He clears his throat while adjusting the tie around his neck, looking away from me and back at the shelves he'd been examining before my arrival. Well, I suppose you wouldn't be inclined to helping me out in that case. I'm not. Yes, I see. That is regrettable. Regrettable? As in, you're going to make me regret it? I think about asking that, but before I have the chance, the fox grabs a random package from one of the shelves. I suppose this will have to do. In the meantime, please look out for the young master. Of course. I'm sure you wouldn't want your precious meal ticket to be hurt, right? Without another word, the fox turns around and walks back to the cash registers. Once he's gone, I take a second to breathe in and recompose myself. After I clear my mind a little, I start to consider the implications of what just happened. Really, my luck must be terrible for me to run into him of all people in here. And ugh, maybe I shouldn't have talked to him like that. What if it comes back to bite Keisuke in the ass somehow? God damn it, I hate being involved in this. What the hell does a normal person even do in this kind of situation? I wasn't built for this. Damn it. For the time being, I lean back against a wall and take the time to recenter myself. I'm going to be here for the next few hours. There's no point in panicking over something that hasn't even happened yet. I'll keep this to myself for now. I don't want to risk rattling Keisuke by telling him about it. What if it gets to him and messes with his game tomorrow? Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut for now and will pray for things to work out. After making up my mind about it, I find a chair and decide to sit and wait until the maintenance of my gear is done. Once they finish, I quickly pay them and go on my way, wanting to get back home and take some time to myself before the trip later tonight. Yeah, he probably should have. June 29th, Thursday. Fuck it. We're going to leave off here tonight. Because Sam is going to do his own stream.
Yeah.
And I don't want to interrupt him too much. Except I am going to, though. I'm going to pipe in a couple times just to give my opinion.
I'm streaming Persona 5 Royal if you guys want to come watch.
Yeah. Anyways, you should go check that out if you want to and you enjoy Sam. And yeah, stay safe, have a good night, and I will see you all tomorrow.